why would Ryan have to do this? Well, you see, Ryan had a bigger problem. And his problem stems from what happened between his wife, Blake Lively, and a guy named Justin Baldoni. Okay.
Blake Lively might have just done herself in this battle with Justin Baldoni, although she didn't do it intentionally. It was something she said
long before she ever worked with Justin Baldoni.
Right, but there's something she said that has now been resurfaced, and it is right on the nose as far as what the issues are in her battle with Justin Baldoni.
All right, hold on to your seats, because things just took a wild turn with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And here's the kicker. Ryan Reynolds has just been officially booted out of Wrexham ownership right after Blake got caught in a lie. This entire lawsuit situation is quickly spiraling into a complete disaster, and it's starting to look like the once flawless Reynolds family is crumbling before our eyes.
The husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy. You know?
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Let's dive in, shall we? So I saw you posing in a photo with Mrs. Reynolds, and
When Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney first took over Wrexham, people were both shocked and thrilled. Two major Hollywood stars investing in a historic Welsh football club. It felt like something out of a movie. Ryan quickly became the face of the ownership, showing up at games, interacting with fans, and hyping up the team on social media. Fans adored him, not just as an investor, but as someone who genuinely cared about the club. But now all that goodwill has come crashing down with Ryan's sudden removal. Wrexham supporters are left questioning what went down behind the scenes. Was this a strategic move? Was he blindsided? And most importantly, what did Blake do that was bad enough to get him kicked out? For those who aren't familiar with the mess that started all of this, let's break it down. It began with shocking allegations from Blake Lively, who claimed she was assaulted on the set of It Ends With Us, and the accused, none other than Justin Baldoni, the film's leading man and director. From there, everything went off the rails. The details didn't add up, and soon the situation escalated into a full-blown legal battle. Justin Baldoni, along with Jimmy Heath, Wayfair Studios, and his publicist, fired the first shot by suing the New York Times, the outlet that originally published Blake's claims. But that was just the beginning. The second lawsuit came from Justin himself, going directly after Blake and Ryan Reynolds. This is where things got truly wild. We're talking Game of Thrones-level backstabbing, Taylor Swift drama, and some seriously shady text messages coming to light. In his lawsuit, Justin claims that the New York Times worked with Blake to manipulate the story, cherry-picking details, and leaving out crucial facts to make him and his team appear guilty. He argues that before the article was published, he and his legal team warned the newspaper that Blake's version of events wasn't true. Yet, despite those warnings, the story went live 2 hours earlier than scheduled, which Justin believes was a deliberate move to control the narrative.
That they got changed copies of the communications, or that they changed the communications to remove emojis. Are you blaming the New York Times for doing that?
I'm blaming the New York Times for participating with Blake Lively's publicists and engaging in this campaign.
As for Blake, instead of diving straight into the lawsuit, she took a different route. She filed a right to sue letter with the California Civil Rights Department. This move allowed her to skip the discovery process and keep things under wraps. But now that everything's out in the open, Justin's team is calling her out, claiming she never intended to actually sue. She just wanted to make herself look more credible. One of Blake's biggest accusations was that Justin and his team used their media connections to launch a smear campaign against her. She even presented text messages that appeared to support her claims. But Justin's team wasn't backing down. They fired back, claiming Blake had edited those messages to make it seem like there was a deliberate effort to ruin her reputation. To prove their point, Justin's side dropped their own receipts, leaked internal messages that showed his team was actually concerned about Blake's PR team pushing fake positive press in her favor. In one message, Justin himself asked, "How can we prove we aren't doing this? It looks bad." A colleague reassured him that Blake's team was behind the media spin, while another PR rep downplayed it, saying that people were simply reacting to Blake's own actions. And it doesn't stop there. Justin's lawsuit also claims that Blake manipulated the text messages to fit her narrative. In one example, she shared a text exchange where someone sent an article titled, "Could Blake Lively be cancelled?" A team member replied, "Wow, you outdid yourself with this. Sounds shady, right?" Well, according to Justin's team, Blake conveniently removed emojis and sarcasm from the message, turning what was meant as a joke into something that seemed serious. Now, if you're wondering where Ryan Reynolds fits into all this chaos, oh, trust me, he's right in the middle of it. As this entire drama unfolds, it turns out Blake wasn't just acting and it ends with us. She was trying to take creative control. Allegedly, she pushed Justin to let her edit and rewrite scenes, a privilege no other actress had on set. But because Justin was so accommodating, he let her do it, and, well, that decision came back to bite him. But here's the real kicker. Ryan wasn't just a supportive husband cheering from the sidelines, he was in on it too. Reports suggest that he actually helped rewrite parts of the script. One cast member even confirmed that Ryan made major changes to multiple scenes, something almost no other actor would be allowed to do. But since Blake was involved, the usual Hollywood rules didn't apply.
You guys have to see this.
Ryan's here tonight. What is it like for the both of you to be promoting major motion pictures at the same time?
Oh my gosh, it's just so thrilling in our house right now. We help each other. We work together so much. The iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you now. But
he wrote the
it.
rooftop
he works
scene.
on everything I do. I work on everything he does. So his wins, his celebrations are mine, and mine are his. I mean, he's all over this film.
And Hugh Jack.
According to the staff, Blake and Ryan constantly tweaked lines, reworked scenes, and disrupted the production, creating a tense atmosphere on set. Blake played Justin like a pro, showering him with compliments, and calling him one of the best directors she'd ever worked with. She claimed other directors never let her contribute creatively, and Justin, wanting to be fair, gave her the freedom she wanted. But that decision backfired massively when Blake rewrote a pivotal rooftop scene, the scene that changed everything. "Will you please get down from there? I'm good, thanks." According to Justin and his legal team, Blake made sure everyone knew that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift loved her version of the scene. She even invited Justin to her penthouse, where Ryan and Taylor hyped up her writing, making Justin feel like he had no choice but to keep it in the film. Later, Justin even texted her praising her talent and said he'd tried to incorporate her ideas into the final cut. This is where the Game of Thrones comparison started to heat up. Blake actually referred to herself as Kissy, saying she had dragons, aka Taylor and Ryan, who would always back her up. She wasn't just name-dropping, she was making it clear she held significant power in both the movie and music industries. Blake knew exactly how to wield her influence to get what she wanted. But Blake didn't stop at one scene. She wanted control over the entire script. Justin, trying to keep the peace, allowed her to make daily changes, hoping to avoid conflict. But the more he allowed it, the worse it became. Blake began questioning every single directing decision, creating even more chaos behind the scenes.
To do with, the brilliance of Blake Lively. I don't think people realize how involved she was in this movie. She was extremely involved, and she really made the film better. And especially when it came to intimacy and all of that, she had a very clear vision, and she was telling me what she thought would work and what she thought.
Now here's where things get really ironic. Around the exact time Blake claimed that Justin harassed her, she was still inviting him over and texting him non-stop. If she was so uncomfortable, why was she constantly reaching out to him? And not only that, but her messages were filled with praise. She complimented the film clips, raved about his directing, and even asked for more footage. So, why do people believe Justin over Blake? Well, Justin had real receipts. His legal team didn't just talk, they delivered proof. They gave everyone a sneak peek into one of the most significant claims in Blake's lawsuit. Blake accused Justin of getting too intimate during a scene that was supposed to be silent. She claimed he whispered to her in a way that made her uncomfortable and even caressed her cheek and neck, something that wasn't in the script. Sounds serious, right? But here's the problem. Blake didn't see the plot twist coming. Justin dropped the real footage, and guess what? The leaked clips completely contradicted her claims. The raw footage showed that the entire moment was taken out of context. The so-called whispering and touching didn't happen the way she said it did.
So nosy.
I know. And my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Before the leaked video clip went viral, Blake didn't realize that audio was being recorded during the scene she claimed was harassment. But when the footage surfaced, it told a completely different story. Turns out that both Justin and Blake were in character the entire time. In fact, Blake herself suggested they talk during the scene to make it appear more romantic in slow motion. It was all about nailing the perfect shot. Nothing inappropriate happened. But here's where things took a turn. Blake still went ahead and accused Justin of harassment and body shaming. To make matters worse, she reportedly manipulated Ryan into believing Justin was the bad guy, even though Ryan and Justin had never worked together before. Now let's talk about Taylor Swift, because her name just got dragged into this mess, and fans are not happy. There's even speculation that Taylor might be separating herself from Blake, realizing Blake used her as a pawn in her own industry drama. In fact, Taylor didn't invite Blake to the Super Bowl this year, an invite she's regularly extended to her friends in the past. Ouch. But here's where it gets interesting. Sources say even if Taylor had invited Blake, she wouldn't have gone anyway. She wasn't about to show up and have her legal drama overshadow Taylor and Travis Kelce's big moment. Last year, Blake was right there in the VIP suite cheering on the Chiefs with Taylor's inner circle, but now everything has changed drastically. Taylor, who is now tangled in Blake's legal battle with Justin Baldoni, is keeping a low profile. Let's not forget that Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit alleges Blake used Taylor's name to sabotage his film. That's next-level messy. A source told the Daily Mail that Taylor isn't trying to shade Blake by not inviting her, but she just doesn't want the drama. However, behind the scenes, Taylor reportedly resents Blake for calling her one of her dragons. Yeah, that did not sit well with her. And here's where things get even wilder. Taylor allegedly had no idea Justin Baldoni was even going to be there when she visited Blake's apartment. The timing? A little too convenient. The source claims Blake orchestrated it so that Taylor would arrive just as Baldoni was leaving. But it gets worse. Taylor also learns that Blake has been name-dropping her in ways that aren't even true. For example, Blake reportedly told a young actress that Taylor personally cast her, which according to insiders, never happened. This all comes months after Blake got dragged online, when old clips resurfaced showing that people found her hard to relate to. And get this, insiders say that Taylor actually tried to help her years ago, advising her to tone things down. The problem is, Blake's never been the type to hold back, and now that seems to be backfiring big time. Oh, but if you think this drama is bad for Blake, wait until you hear what's happening with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan, who has mostly stayed out of Blake's legal mess, is now facing his own set of problems, and it's all happening on the football field. As many fans know, Ryan, alongside Rob McElhenney, took over Wrexham AFC when the club was struggling in the National League, the fifth tier of English football. But thanks to their leadership and a ton of media attention, the club made an incredible comeback, securing back-to-back promotions and climbing into League One. Now Wrexham is right in the middle of a battle for another promotion, with hopes of reaching the championship. Their competition includes teams like Stockport County, Birmingham City, Wigan Wanderers and Huddersfield Town. But here's where things get complicated. According to the Mirror, Ryan is rumored to be part of a consortium looking to take over MLS side Vancouver Whitecaps, his hometown club. This isn't just a side project either. Ryan and Rob are already involved in another club, the Mexican team NAA. So, what does this mean for Wrexham? Fans are not happy about the possibility of Ryan splitting his focus between multiple clubs. Some believe Wrexham's success has been heavily dependent on Ryan and Rob's full investment, both financially and emotionally. If Ryan shifts his attention to Vancouver, Wrexham fans fear the club could lose momentum, especially now that they're fighting for another promotion. To make matters worse, some Whitecaps fans aren't thrilled either. Many are skeptical about whether Ryan's involvement would actually improve the club, or if this is just another Hollywood-style PR move. While his investment in Wrexham has been widely praised, not everyone believes he can replicate that success in MLS. But why would Ryan even consider taking over the Vancouver Whitecaps? Well, for one, it's his hometown club. Being involved in Vancouver would be a full-circle moment for him, especially given his growing passion for football. Secondly, MLS offers far more commercial opportunities than a lower-league English club. With the rise of American soccer and the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup being hosted in North America, investing in an MLS team would make a lot of business sense. The Vancouver Whitecaps deal could be a huge business move, but this story only gets more interesting. Ryan Reynolds' connection to the Whitecaps isn't exactly new. In fact, Wrexham actually played against the MLS club in a preseason match last year. What might have seemed like a friendly game at the time is now looking more like a strategic move, one that could signal a much bigger investment plan. But let's be real, this deal is on a whole different level compared to his Wrexham purchase. Back when Ryan and Rob McElhenney took over the Welsh club, they did it for an estimated $2 million, relatively small in the world of football. But this potential Vancouver Whitecaps deal, we're talking about a massive investment, likely in the range of $300 million or more. That's a huge leap, one that would require significant outside funding. So is Ryan really planning to go all in on this? Or is it just a rumor, drummed up to stir interest in the club? At this point, there's no official offer on the table. It's possible that the current owners are using Ryan's name to generate buzz for a sale. But here's the thing, Ryan has been known to explore different investment opportunities, and with his personal ties to Vancouver, it's not out of the question that he's seriously considering this. But just as this rumor started flying, another backlash hit Ryan Reynolds again. This time, it was over a scheduling conflict involving Wrexham AFC. Following the Super Bowl, Ryan found himself at the center of criticism after Wrexham's League One match against Leyton Orient, originally set for last Saturday, was postponed due to Orient's FA Cup tie against Manchester City. It was later rescheduled for Tuesday, February 18. The announcement made through Leyton Orient's official X account stated they were mandated to play on that date, sparking outrage among their supporters who felt forced into a last-minute decision. Many fans were frustrated with the short turnaround, especially considering it was a midweek away game, making travel difficult. In response, Leyton Orient decided to offer free coach travel to ease the burden on supporters. However, despite not having direct control over scheduling decisions, Ryan and fellow Wrexham co-owner Rob McElhenney became the target of angry comments on social media. Some fans accused the Hollywood duo of influencing the decision in Wrexham's favor. One furious fan called the move absolutely disgusting, claiming it was made to benefit Wrexham's growing U.S. audience. Another said they didn't like anyone taking the limelight away from the Hollywood Welsh. The backlash also included accusations that the EFL was favoring Wrexham to ensure their continued success. However, Leyton Orient's CEO Mark Delaney stepped in to clarify that the decision was made due to Wrexham's tight schedule and their continued participation in the Virtu Motors Trophy, which left few available dates for rescheduling. While the EFL hasn't made an official statement, It is understood that both clubs were informed about the proposed date well in advance, and the primary reason for the scheduling change was growing fixture congestion later in the season. Despite this clarification, the backlash against Ryan continues. As for Blake and her lawsuit, things are only getting messier, and it seems more and more likely that Ryan Reynolds, along with Taylor Swift, could be called as witnesses if this case goes to court. The tension surrounding this situation has escalated dramatically, with many fans already turning their backs on Blake. People are starting to claim that her public image as the sweet, down-to-earth star was nothing more than an illusion. Some believe this is just proof of what insiders have been saying all along, that Blake has always had a mean streak and an inflated ego, feeling as though Hollywood was hers to command. The backlash has been swift and brutal, with social media buzzing about her alleged behavior and questioning whether she ever truly deserved the America's Sweetheart label. What's making this even more chaotic is the unexpected move by Justin, who some say Blake never saw coming. Many speculate she thought he would either stay silent or support her, but instead, he's actively fighting against her, and that changes everything. His involvement is a major twist, especially considering what's at stake. There's no way he's letting that $400 and millions slip away without a battle. And let's not forget, this isn't just about Blake anymore. With Ryan and Taylor potentially being dragged into the courtroom, this is turning into one of Hollywood's biggest legal and social media dramas in years. If either of them testifies, it could shift public opinion even further, either confirming or disproving the rumors about Blake's alleged behavior behind the scenes. The situation is unfolding like a real-life Hollywood blockbuster, betrayals, legal battles, and high-profile names being thrown into the mix. Fans are divided, insiders are whispering, and the media is feasting on every new development. Will Blake be able to salvage her reputation? Will Justin push forward with full force? And most importantly, how will Ryan and Taylor navigate this storm if they get pulled into the courtroom? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and while we wait for more updates, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and check out our other videos too.